Good morning. Welcome to each and every one of you. This is an exciting day. Thank you for being here. This is a great turnout. If you are able, I would ask that you please stand and bring your attention to the stage as the Tempe Police Honor Guard will be presenting the colors, and then remain standing because you're in for a treat. Detective Sergeant Olivia Calderon with the Tempe Police Department is going to be singing the National Anthem.
Honor guard. Oh, team, hunt. Cherry, colors. Forward, march. Post colors. Post. Pretty sad. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket track lay the bombs bursting in air, yet through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order, arms. Honor guard, face. Forward, march.
Can we clap for that? That was like... You can be seated. So at this point, I'd like to have come to the stage and introduce to you City Manager Andrew Ching.
Thank you, everybody, and good morning. Really appreciate seeing all of you here today on this auspicious Friday, and it's truly an honor to be able to say a few words here at the swearing in of Chief Moir. Back on December 1st of last year, many of us here gathered in the same room, or same building actually, to say goodbye and thank you to Chief Tom Riff for his years of service. And you know, the duty of selecting a police chief falls upon the city manager. And you know, or at least I know, that in order to do that, you really have to work. You have to work and make sure that you talk to the right people, and that you engage the community, and that you engage the employees, and you engage your peers, and you think, and you work, and you listen, and you try to make sure that whoever it is who you find lives up to the great standards that have been set by all the former chiefs and the employees of the Tempe Police Department that have gone before to make this department exactly what it is. And we are very honored today to be joined by a few of those former chiefs. I see, as I mentioned, Chief Tom Riff is here, former Chief Ralph Tranter is here, former Chief Art Fairbanks is also here, and I know that Ron Burns, Chief Burns is here. He's not in his designated seat, and also Chief Dave Brown. I'm looking over here. There are actually two seats with the name on it, but you're getting the full feel of the acoustics in this room, which is good. You know, front and back, it's all quality. Thank you to Mission Palms. So that means a lot. You know, we all stand on the shoulders to some extent of those that came before us and laid the groundwork to get us to where we are, and gives us the momentum to move forward. And it is with this swearing in that I feel that the city of Tempe has that momentum to continue to move forward on that trajectory of success that has been laid. And I'm very honored to be here and be a part of that. I just have a couple of thank yous. I'm not going to speak for very long that I want to do today. First, as I mentioned earlier, I want to thank the public, the residents of the city of Tempe for their engagement and involvement both before, during, and even after the selection process took place. They were engaged early and often, and I heard you, and we listened, and we did exactly what we thought we should do to make this selection the right selection. Secondly, I want to thank all the panelists, both citizens and members of the Tempe Police Department and the community stakeholders as well. And I'll go ahead and read some of the names of the people who took the time to actually give their input. That includes our Diversity and Strategic Management Director, Rosa Anchowski, Tempe Fire Medical Rescue Chief, Greg Reese, our Community and Media Relations Manager, Nikki Ripley, the TOA President, Jeff Millen, who's here today, I know, Jace Bradling, former Assistant Chief here in ASU, Chief Mike Thompson is here, Kathy Mancini and Mary Bishop. Thank you very much, Mary, for being here today. We really appreciate your service in helping with the selection. Also, Angela Creedon and Dr. Kevin Cook from ASU, David Schauer, the superintendent from Kyrene School District, Chris Bush, the superintendent from Tempe Elementary School District, Dr. Ken Baca from Tempe Union High School District, Belinda Chu, the chair of our Human Relations Commission, Mary Ann Miller, the president and CEO of the Tempe Chamber of Commerce, who's here today. Thank you, Mary Ann. Bill Epps, the executive director of Tempe Community Action Agencies, Kate Borders, the director of the Downtown Tempe Authority, Karen Lathan, chair of our Family Justice Commission, were all integral to the decision-making process, and their time was valuable and it was well spent. I appreciate all of them, and for anyone who I may have missed in that process, because we had many, many people come out to our public forum as well, all of the public forums, and that input was crucial. Also, I want to thank all of the people internally between the point of December 1st to today, those all too brief, almost 4 months to get us to today, who worked so hard to make sure that the chief was ready on day one and to be here and gave their time to make sure that it happened. All the folks in Human Resources, John O'Connor, Renee Broderick, Lawrence LaVictoire, and Kathleen Broman, who worked so many hours to make this happen. I want to thank Commander Horn. I know he, among a lot of other people in the police department, worked day after day after day to make sure that all of the certification requirements was met. And obviously that worked out really well, and it wouldn't have happened without his dedication and a lot of other folks in the Tempe Police Department. I also want to thank the mayor and council who are here today. I know that Mayor Mitchell is going to be saying some words after me to thank and to recognize people, but without their support for me as manager and able to have the ability to make a selection that in the best interest of the community, it would not have been possible. So thank you very much for your support. And I also want to thank the remarkable individual who was the interim chief during that period of time, Chief John Rush. I don't know where is John? There he is, right in front. During that period as interim chief and throughout his entire long and distinguished career, John has demonstrated the utmost in character and integrity and leadership, and we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the work that he did. And so I'm sincerely grateful for everything that he's accomplished to this date. Thank you very much. And I believe now we're going to have some words from Mayor Mitchell.
Well, good morning and happy Good Friday. What a great day to have such a great celebration to honor our new police chief. And I want to thank Andrew. Let's give Andrew a round of applause for really a great public process. And it really defines how we are at the city of Tempe regarding the public process and how inclusive we are for such an important position. And we do that with a lot of our positions within the city. So I want to thank Andrew for his leadership and his commitment. And I would like to thank my council colleagues with us. I'd like to recognize Vice Mayor Corey Woods. We have Councilmember Lauren Kuby, Councilmember David Shapira, Councilmember Joel Navarro, and Councilmember Robin Arredondo Savage, I think is here somewhere. There she is. I want to thank them for all their hard work and the leadership to help give Andrew the resources that we need to help make sure that we get the proper individuals into our city, and it's really exciting. I do want to recognize former Mayor Rudy Campbell. He was our first elected mayor. Rudy, thank you for coming here today. And I want to recognize also as well former Mayor Neil Giuliano for coming today. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, I'm really excited for the opportunity to work with Chief Moir, and we're really happy that you're here with us today and hopefully for quite some time. You know, you're inheriting a really great team. In case you don't know that, I'm sure you do. We have a phenomenal team here in the city of Tempe, and I know you're going to do great things for the city of Tempe. And Tempe has a great group of, an amazing group actually, of men and women who give it all to keep our community safe. Let's give the men and women of Tempe Police Department a round of applause as well. And I don't say that lightly because it truly is important. And public safety is at the utmost importance for our community to keep all of our residents safe in our community. And with that, we couldn't do a lot of what we do without regional support and statewide support. And I want to thank all the regional police agencies that have come far and wide, even from Tucson to Scottsdale. And I want to thank all the different police agencies throughout the state and the valley for coming here today. And thank you so much. Before we get to the swearing in, I want to really recognize an important individual, and I want to thank John Rush. John, thank you so much for what you've done as an interim chief. It means the world to us. I know you had a great little standing ovation there. You helped keep our community safe, and you're doing a great job, and I can't thank you enough for the support you've done as our interim chief, and we're very proud to have you with the Tempe Police Department. You know, your lifelong commitment to the city and all the men and women's lifelong commitment to the city and our police department is very, very impressive. And on behalf of the city council and the residents of Tempe, I want to thank, again, all the men and women for the tremendous job that you do. Now, at this time, I'd like to welcome up our interim chief, John Rush. Please come forward. And I'll turn the program over to John.
Morning. I'm John Rush, one of the assistant chiefs. And I have had the privilege of getting to know our new chief, Moir, over the last few months. And there's some things that you'll learn about her today. And I wanted to tell you about Chief Moir that I know and have come to know. And they're the things that you should know. And she'd be too modest to tell you in her speech. So I wanted to kind of review some of the things that I've learned about her over the next few months that you need to know as a police department and as a community. Chief Moir was a California native, began her law enforcement career in 1988 as a community service officer, and spent nearly 19 years with Sacramento Police Department. She progressed to the ranks and worked a wide variety of assignments, including every office in Sacramento Police Department, giving her the broad perspective of the rewards and challenges of running a modern-day police department. She spent the majority of her career in field operations, and 2 years in the Metro Operations Division, responsible for the safety and services in the downtown area of the Capitol and specialized units serving the entire city. In Metro, she was the team leader and supervisor for hostage negotiations team, mounted, bikes, Marine units, special events, off-duty, dignitary protection, Mobile Incident Command, just to name a few. Chief Moir served as the incident commander on hundreds of planned and spontaneous events. She was a National Incident Management System and Incident Command System trainer, and was on the All Hazards Incident Management Team deployed to active incidents with a team of police and fire personnel to relieve incident command teams for up to 10 days at a time. She also served as Special Investigations Detective focused on nuisance abatement, vice, and gambling. And just as a side note, she claims to be the worst undercover vice detective in the history of Sacramento. She also went to the Basic Academy, was a recruit training officer, trained in physical training, riot and crowd control, cultural diversity, and was an academy commander focused on training and developing recruits for readiness to enter the police and sheriff's departments throughout the state of California. She also served in fiscal operations, managing a budget of $165 million, in charge of grants, procurement, travel, and training. One of the highlights of her career that she's very proud of, it was as a member of the Sacramento Police Honor Guard. She was part of hundreds of ceremonial events and got the opportunity to complete rigorous training with U.S. Army Old Guard at Fort Myer, Virginia, and Arlington National Cemetery. After Sacramento, Chief Moir worked in the Menlo Park Police Department as the commander of operations, and while at Menlo Park, she teamed to bring innovative strategies to that agency. One of these programs was called the Communication Accountability Problem Solving, or CAPS, in Menlo Park. This program encouraged the individual beat officers to team with personnel throughout the department to identify crime trends, solve crimes, and address quality of life issues. Next, as a police chief in El Cerrito, from July of 2010 until she joined us, she was responsible for leading the men and women of the El Cerrito Police Department as they provided a full range of police services. She believes in the philosophy of community-oriented policing and problem solving and emphasizes procedural justice in all facets of policing. During her time in El Cerrito, she led efforts to start the department's first K-9 program, regional SWAT team, built the motor unit to include dual sport motorcycles, advanced internal audits, and to build partnerships with community stakeholders as natural progressions to increasing the safety in the community. She believes the tactical readiness of a community and a police department and community policing can and should successfully coexist in a police department. In addition to serving El Cerrito, Chief Moir was appointed by Governor Jerry Brown to the California Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training as one of 16 commissioners guiding law enforcement in the state of California. When she left California, she was the vice chair of the Post Commission and second vice president of the Executive Committee for the California Police Chiefs Association, or CPCA. She was also the chair of the CPCA Emerging Issues Committee and was on the working committee for the Women Leaders in Law Enforcement Annual Symposium. For over 25 years, Chief Moir has been a trainer at the local, state, and national level in the areas of training, instructor development, leadership, incident command, cultural diversity, racial profiling, and physical training. She holds a master's degree from the University of Phoenix, a bachelor's degree in science and criminal justice from California State University, Sacramento, master's degree from Center for Homeland Security and Defense at the Naval Postgraduate School, where she received the prestigious Butch Straub Award for Leadership and Intellectual Courage. She's a graduate of the Sherman Block Supervisory Leadership Institute, LAPD West Point Leadership, and holds the highest certificate in California law enforcement, which is the Executive Certificate from California Post. And on a personal note, she has also run a 120-mile Baker to Vegas Challenge Cup relay 11 times, completed several marathons, with her last being the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. And although I had the opportunity to go through some of the tangible issues on a resume, the one thing that's been very clear to us over the last week is she certainly has a love of policing, a love for people, and a love for the community. And these are some of the many reasons why we're very lucky to have you as our chief. So thank you very much. And with that, I will turn it over to Commander Mike Horn for the official swearing in.
That's so weird about that Las Vegas run, because I've done that never. Maybe my day will come. Well, this is the time we've been waiting for, and at this point, I'd like to invite to the stage the Honorable Marianne Majestic, presiding judge of the Tempe Municipal Court, and Sylvia Moir, very soon to officially be Chief of Police for the Tempe Police Department. And we will now have the swearing in, followed by comments from Chief Moir.
I, Sylvia M. Moir,
I, Sylvia M. Moir,
affirm that I will support
affirm that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Arizona,
of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of police officer for the city of Tempe
of police officer of the city of Tempe
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Wow. I wish you could see how amazing it is from where I stand. Good morning and thank you for taking the time to be here today. There's a Navy saying that says this: it is not the lofty sail, but the unseen wind that propels the ship. While I stand here before you today and every day as the visible representative of the Tempe Police Department, I know who and what are propelling us. This ceremony is about a few undeniable truths. There are a few firsts occurring today. And I acknowledge the significance of those facts, while I know in my soul that this ceremony is about the people in our community and about the Tempe Police Department, rather than about one single individual. You've heard a little bit about what I've had some opportunities to do in my policing career that led me here. I will say I did admit to being the worst undercover vice detective, more appropriately, the worst undercover prostitute in the history of undercover operations. Praise the honor guard. I walk like a cop. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. And you've heard a little bit, but I also want you to know and hear and introduce you to those people who are my unseen wind. So my better half, Lacey, a retired police commander and brand new Tempe resident, Lacey. To the California, Colorado, and Phoenix contingent that came here. My dad and his wife, Linda, came all this way. Yeah. And when he said he grounded me once or twice, it was once or twice a month. So trust me, I was a little high maintenance. My dear sister, who's known me longer than anybody, Allison, and my brother Larry from Colorado, both of whom I've only beaten maybe twice in my entire life at cribbage. Do not play cards with those two. My nieces, Katie, Lauren, my nephew Tyler, I am so proud to be your auntie. And Hope, thank you, and and hope that you can describe to Riley, Lucas, Sophia, Elise, and Sean what they're missing today. It's so great to see you here as young adults. My in-laws from Phoenix, my Phoenix people, my in-laws, Jerry, Leilani, Geraldine, who couldn't be here today, but Eric, Katie, and Matt, thank you. It's nice to have my dear trusted friend and colleague of whom I shared a city border, some crime challenges in California. The new Tucson Police Chief, Chris Magnus, is here with his husband, Terrence. Thank you, Chris. So, there were a lot of stories in California that I was hanging on Chris's leg, following him from California to Arizona. And actually, part of that would be true. I didn't come to Tempe and want to be here with you because of Chris, but it sure makes it easier. I'd follow him anywhere. He's an extraordinary man. Thank you, Chris. So, and I want this group to stand up. The El Cerrito Police Department, who got up at 2 o'clock in the morning to fly here just for the day to show their support and likely provide really honest insight to every one of you about how I actually show up every day as your chief. They are here, and we were a team for nearly 6 years, and they have made me who I am. Keep standing. Keep standing. Thank you. This is Interim Chief, so proud, Paul Keith, Lieutenant David Hartung and his amazing wife, Barbara, a dear friend, admin analyst, and the better part of this team, Samantha Wendling, Sergeant Lauren Caputo, officer and PEA Vice President Jose De La Torre. Thank you so much for being here, and give them the real scoop. I'm grateful for what you have meant to me, what I learned from you, all of you, and thank you so much for coming this far to support the Tempe PD team. To members of our community, city government, regional partners, state partners, federal partners, thank you for being here today to support the Tempe Police Department. City Manager Andrew Ching, you're a gutsy guy. I thank you for taking a chance on a first. And I also thank you for believing that I can add value to an already strong and committed and amazing police department. So when we speak of progressive policing, we are not arguing that we need to abandon everything that we have done traditionally in policing. But I argue that the foundations of policing in the United States are solid, and we have an opportunity now, more than in recent years, to examine and evaluate not only our warrior ethos, but our guardian philosophies. We dive into clarity, discipline, and consistency. And borrowing from Simon Sinek, we must start with and evaluate the clarity of why we are sworn and professional staff of local police departments, why we are, to know without a doubt why we do what we do and articulate why we exist more broadly than our basic police service. We must examine the discipline of how we police Tempe. Much of the how is universal, and being from the outside, I've learned a lot about the outside coming to Tempe. Being from the outside shouldn't be scary to anyone, because our principles and values guide how we bring our cause to life through our systems, through our processes, and most importantly, through our organizational culture. It is essential that we understand our how and strengthen the discipline to hold ourselves accountable to each other and to ourselves, accountable to our very, very high Tempe standards. We must remain consistent in what we do. How we interact with people on every encounter reflects our character. It reveals to everyone our beliefs. And the decisions at the top must have the best interests of the entire group at heart. Aristotle was known to have said, "It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it." So I urge you to entertain the thought of your individual why and find clarity, our how, and enhance our discipline and carry out the consistency of our what we do so it becomes contagious. What we do, we will continue with the excellent police work that Tempe does. We will emphasize community-oriented policing and problem-solving where decentralized decision-making, genuine decentralized decision-making is valued in the Tempe Police Department. We will conduct sound investigations where we strive to serve victims, prosecute offenders, remain tactically sound, operationally proficient, gather and analyze intelligence, and we will every day treat each other with dignity and respect internally and externally. We will grow as a team and strengthen our culture. We will continue to examine and strengthen how we safeguard our neighborhoods, our businesses from harm, how we provide service to those in need, and we will enhance the legacy that we leave individually and organizationally. You know, we have those influences on our lives, and I've thanked a lot of people that have been the unseen wind. And before I arrived in Tempe, I reached out to some amazing people to find out if I would fit. And to Julie and Karen and Rosa and Bill Richardson, a quiet little petal who doesn't have many opinions. And others, I thank you for shedding light and helping me find my way here. I wish that my mom could be here and that she was alive to see this today. I know that she would not take any credit at all for any of this, but I and we know where the credit lies. I'm the product of great parenting, a focus on compassionate service to others, a commitment to lifelong learning, and this gritty work ethic that comes with this profession and with being a Moir. My mom would say, Sylvia, remember who you are and whom you represent. I will continue to represent my friends and my family, even though I'm a little further away from my California people. I will continue to represent you in a way that honors you. I will continue to represent my dear best friend on the planet, Maria Sandoval, who is here. She's the first person I went on a ride along with. And when I saw her on that day in 1986, we had this really big hair. When I saw her on a traffic stop on that day, and I saw how she interacted with people and how tough she was, but soft and compassionate she was, I knew in that moment my soul had shifted and I wanted to be a cop. I will represent you well, Maria. To my new community, regional partners, fellow department heads, my profession, and the Tempe Police Department, I will represent you with the integrity, honor, humor, seriousness, lightheartedness, when appropriate, that is truly me. I will be authentic to you, and I will be authentic to myself. So in closing, I am so deeply grateful to Chiefs, Assistant Chiefs Brenda Buren, Angel Carbajal, John Rush, the other half of this extraordinary team, Darren Martinez, this executive team that will make me a better person, a more wise and committed public servant and police chief, and from day one made me feel strangely like I had arrived home. Because I'm home, because I'm committed to you and this thing we're doing, I say, let's do this. I'm very proud to serve you and to be your chief. Thank you.